With that, roll call.
Mr. Palazzo.
Present.
Mr. Lykoff.
Here.
Ms. Rosenbaum.
Here.
Ms. Seiler. Absent. Ms. Peliquin.
Here.
Ms. Moore.
Present.
Ms. Tarko.
Here.
Mr. Eckstein. Absent. Mr. Patterson.
Here.
Ms. Oldesby.
Here.
And Michelle Coetzee. Absent. And Chair Gunter.
I'm here.
We have a quorum.
All right, with a quorum present, we'll move forward to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did everyone get a copy of the meeting minutes emailed out? Did everybody get a chance to review them thoroughly, and any questions, comments, or concerns?
No, I didn't see any I didn't see any need for changes. I move to I move to approve.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None heard. Call that unanimous. First order of business is a department update, Mr. Sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Carl.
So, as you all know, last month we canceled our meeting due to the hurricane. And so it's good to see everyone out again. I made a comment earlier, this room seems right, but it could just be my eyes. So I do have a few things I want to share with you all, some upcoming events that we have throughout the rest of this year prior to our next meeting. As you know, Halloween is around the corner, so last weekend we had a couple drive-through Halloween events. We have a couple this weekend, which is at Oswald Park, and we have a Halloween party at Croissant Park. The drive-through event is 1 to 4, which is at Oswald, and the Halloween party is from 4 to 6.
When you say drive-through, it's just the cars drive through and they have all these.
Yes, so you're basically driving through, think of driving through like a
Trey Winds Park.
right, and there'll be props, there'll be music, they'll be giving out candy, things of that nature. It's really nice. We've had them at Snyder, which we had last week, and so those are really well attended. As with every first Sunday of the month, we've got jazz brunch on the 6th. Now, as we get into the holiday season, we have our light up series. The first one kicks off, I believe it's November 10th, which is Get Lit at Esplanade Park. And then from there, we have Light Up the Gulf, Light Up the Beach follows that, Light Up Sistrunk follows that one. And then we have our menorah lighting celebration on December 18th. The Get Lit that's at Esplanade Park is from 6 to 8:30. Light Up the Gulf is 6 to 9. Light Up the Beach is at the Loop, and it's from 5:30, to 8:30.
Are we invited to the cocktail reception for that one?
I can check on that for you.
Good answer. We would like cocktails.
There's a good
The
reception.
holiday spirit.
There's a good reception on that one.
And then I think I mentioned the menorah lighting celebration. That was also taking place at the Loop on December 18th. And that concludes my department.
Thank you. Any questions for Carl?
Yes. Phil's, is he finished? Phil?
Is he finished?
Wasn't he,
We
retiring?
can't hear over here.
No, he's here.
Okay.
What?
Phil
There was
Thornburg?
there was some rumor that Phil Thornburg was going to retire.
So that's not accurate?
He hadn't shared that with me.
Oh, okay.
So,
Who started
so as far as
that?
I know, it's no.
Okay. This was a while ago, so I'm just getting up to speed.
I didn't hear that rumor, so
I don't know who I heard it from, but I knew it wasn't true, so I just let sleeping dogs.
I'm pretty sure he told me that, but
Well, now you're really starting.
Then you're the first to know.
you know before I did.
Yeah, but if you got to tell you it was 2025.
I thought that was like a done deal. So
Maybe it's in the drop.
I can't speak to that.
all right, well then department update concluded.
Any other mischievous questions for Carl? None heard. We will move forward with the aquatic center update.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good to be here. Thank you for inviting us. I'm Laura Vogt. If I haven't met you before, I hope to see you all out at the Aquatic Center. I'm the facility manager there. And today I'm with Greg Jennings, who's a project manager from Hensel Phelps Construction Company.
Hello.
And Kevin Curry, who was the project superintendent for our Aquatic Center project. And really been a great team to work with. And this project started off, I guess the contract was signed in August of 2018. And so we're just finishing up here. And so it's been a great time together, but now we're gonna have to say goodbye soon, and they've done a great job. So we brought some pictures with us today so you can see where we're at. And so I'll have a great start off.
Good evening.
Oh, here, there we go.
All right, so project goals to bring the facility to competitive standards, the
Oh,
pools,
sorry. There we go.
of course recreational. I see several of you out there daily. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm wandering around the pool decks. Yeah, and then make it just the international center for swimming. I mean, there's so much international interest in the project. Excellent. That's a rendering. The locker room building on the south side of the property looks a little bit different than what that rendering shows.
And it almost all looks like that now.
Almost.
Pretty much, except we need lockers.
We need
That's
lockers,
okay.
and I can give you an update on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
Tired of schlepping my stuff on my bike.
Yeah.
Because I ride my bike to the pool every day.
you can sign locker.
I'm getting on a sign locker.
May have started something here. Yes.
They take
My
that
name
off
will
the
be on it
record.
like in a golf club.
April of last year, just a progress aerial photo of where we were at. You can see the grandstand, that the shell was up on the grandstand. We were working on the completing the shell on what we call Building B, but thank you, Kevin. Yeah. Grandstand there, yep. Building B, which is your restroom and concession and ticketing, and then the observation deck on the top of the building. As well as we had the shell in place for the dive pool and the shell in place for the competition pool. The training pool, most of you all probably know that is our contract was just to renovate the training pool. So the shell stayed in place, the plaster stayed in place. We put a topping layer of plaster on it. We had to replace some tiles due to new code, meaning that any tile that is 5 feet and below. So basically, if you can stand on the bottom of the pool, it's got to be non-slip tile. So we had to replace those tiles. Okay, we can go to the next
All right.
slide. More progress photos. You can see the training pool on the left-hand side there. We did have to replace the gutter. That was part of our contract, is to replace the gutter of that pool. So it's a brand new gutter. And then on the right-hand side is the shell to the, that's the yeah.
That's the dive well.
Dive well.
Crane's getting ready to set up the first panels. They're filling all the valves for the first section of the dive valve. And the south building's still up in April of 2020.
And right underneath that crane is where the old dive well is, so
Yep.
that was abandoned in place and filled in.
Right, so this was a big moment for everyone, the topping out. So it's tradition in construction that you hold a topping out ceremony when you finish the uppermost part of the structure, basically. Well, we're building pools, but we do have a dive tower, so we built some facilities as well, but the dive tower being the tallest part of the project. So as we put the crown piece up there, that was our topping out ceremony with local dignitaries. Also diving dignitaries and go ahead.
It was July
Yes.
1st of last year, as the first like milestone that we achieved, and it's a great celebration. So this dive tower is the new international standard. So if you look up in the rule book for the international governing body for the sport of swimming and aquatic sports, this is it, our design. City of Fort Lauderdale's design in here, and it's something that we're really proud of. There's this took about, we started, it took 4 months, was it, Kevin, put it up? 4 months to put 96 precast concrete panels up. And there's 162, or 26 steps to the top. So,
4 months to put up, but probably a year worth of design.
Design, fabrication.
Using a lot of Laura's contacts, through the swimming community to get comments on its first purpose-built one. The review committee was endless, and then even to, Spain, Sweden.
Yeah.
I mean, it went around the swimming community to make sure it's gonna be compliant to meet the new standards, so a lot of background.
and the challenge with building this, and we'll see some more pictures later, was it's 4 sports all in one dive tower. So that's springboard diving, platform diving, which is to 10 meters, and then high diving. And each of those sports has a different set of rules. And so the construction company, in putting this together, it was all the structural engineers and all the precast people, is like very, very intricate, very complicated design. This is one of the most challenging designs that they had ever worked on. It's an entirely reinforced steel structure, just really encased in some concrete. So if you were to go to, you just wanted to put something up or drill, so you really should take an x-ray. You just can't drill into there. I think there's just a slab that it's all integrated in here with, there's water that goes all the way up to the top, there's electrical, so there's the lights. If you go out there tonight, we put the lights on a schedule for the boat show, so from 7 to 11 we're gonna have the lit up tonight for the boat show. So
All those pieces were trucked in from Kissimmee at Gate Precast plant. They were a huge partner in getting that tower to be, so. Okay, so this is what we always call Building B in the field, but the concession building with the restrooms, ticketing, and there was a change order to add, an owner request to add the observation deck on the top. So originally, this building did not have an observation deck up top. So,
the left side is just an elevator tower and a little lobby area to go up to that viewing deck. So this was the high diving platform, and then also this viewing deck was addition to the contract. So here's just a picture of this work in progress. So that's 9 platform levels, and you can see that they look a little bit different going all the way up, because that's each sport has a little different nuance as far as the regulations, but it's designed to fit in with our, Venice of America community, and those flared sections were specifically designed like that to mirror the hull of a ship. So,
the railings the handrails were going up in that photo.
so this is the new locker room building for the swimmers, and administrative building, weight room, first aid, and lifeguard rooms. There's a companion bathroom in here, and there's some meeting rooms as well. This is just, part of the construction, putting that up.
And that was a separate contract from what we call the base contract. So the base contract was the pools, the grandstand, the dive tower, and the building B. There you go. And then the south building, the locker room building, was a separate contract. So it would be a shame to open this facility up and have that that old locker room
I
building
remember
there.
that, I remember that,
Yeah.
I remember that meeting when they
So
came
this
to us
is
and
in
asked for the money for
February,
it.
yeah. So this picture is taken in February, so you see the training pool over there and it's green and everyone says, oh no, the water's green. And I said, but it's okay because it's clear, so it's okay.
Right.
Clear green water for a pool operator is no big deal. If it's cloudy and green, then you got a big problem. So if you remember the Olympics from Brazil, that cloudy green water, that's just, oh, that's, you just wanna start crying if you see that. But this is nice, clear, clean water, you know, took about a couple days to turn it blue. But that was when we started filling the first pool in February of this year. So first water went in the pools, that's why I put that in there. So now it's blue.
It's blue.
Still,
Yeah.
it only takes a couple days. So this is just finishing up the plaster and the main competition pool there. That's a stretch 50-meter pool. It has 2 movable bulkheads. There's a little white bar at the end of that. You'll see a bulkhead there. It's 3 meters deep and 2 meters deep, 10 lanes. So, and then just finishing up on the construction on that locker room south building over there. February. Just more pictures from February, still getting there. You see the stairs for the 3 meter on the dive well. Okay, yay, look at blue water, blue water in
Pool's full,
April.
yeah.
And all the pools.
Yep, so here we are in the springtime, everything is moving along. These aerial pictures that Ansel Phelps had taken from Smith Aerial, so really good. It's parking lot, new parking lot, the grade, what's that, it went up 5 to 7 feet up on the grade on the parking lot, so it's raised up.
You just have to take
Grandstands.
steps up to the grandstand.
The grandstand seat, about 1,500. It's a new entrance to the aquatic center here. Some more pictures. One of the last components of that dive tower is putting on those little bubble, laser cut bubble screens, just a little architectural feature there. So Media Day was the next event. So in July 1st of last year, we had the last piece placed on the top. And a year later, we had Media Day. And it was a really exciting day. Stephen LeBou, world championship diver, who's also our high diving coordinator and was there with us. Brandon Loshibov, Brandon Loshiavo. He's actually dives from Purdue. And then our dive team, we had the Red Bull divers and the USA Diving national team members there. And so the first dive was off the top, and that was from Stephen LeBou. And then we had dives on every level. And the 2 divers are on the side. Those are Red Bull champions. One, Rhiannon Iflin from Australia, and Orlando Duque from Colombia. So very celebrated high divers. So this is the project schedule. Mostly on track there.
Sure, yeah, this was the, original schedule and it was mostly on track. You can see, we did get partial certificate of occupancy was when the city could actually take occupancy of the facilities and the pools, and that was critical to getting the health department out. The health department will not come out and inspect the pools until the city says it's safe for the public to occupy. So, and we were worried about how long it's going to take the health department to come out, but they did pretty well. I think once we
got there. So we opened a soft opening on September 12th.
It was the happiest day of our lives.
Yeah.
South building. So the south building, so it's that new locker room building. We're just doing the finishing up on that. We got the temporary certificate of occupancy on the south building on October 7th. So we're just entering finishes right now. So they started that on June 21st.
Demolition.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so project completion being December 24th, and really right now we're just in punch list items. So now the lockers.
Lockers.
That is one item that's missing from the
they're
building
in
right now.
Florida.
They're somewhere in Florida. Well, they're waiting on material somewhere in Florida. So it's what we get told all the time, supply chain issues, but they've been delayed twice now for 2 months. So we were supposed to have them first before we opened the facility, but we're not here yet. So they're telling us toward the end of November now. So we'll see. Yeah.
light at the end of the tunnel.
This picture, I was there right before we opened on September 12th. I went in before the sun came up and that, just make sure the lights were working and that I set the schedule right. And so that's what I saw on the day before. That was September 11th, actually, out the window. That was sunrise. And then there's just a picture of a swimmer. That's Jim Montgomery, so Hall of Famer, Olympic gold medalist. He came by, swim in the pool, took a picture. This first day, you might recognize some people in that picture. This is
That's the 5:30 group.
5:30 morning,
That's the 5:30. You're not gonna see me in that.
But there you
group.
are. You're there on the right.
Oh, there I am, yeah.
There's over there on the, and that was the 6:45 group,
Yeah,
right?
that's the 6:45.
The sun was coming up, so that was the day one, opening day.
You're so, look at the sunrise behind the, that was so pretty that morning. It was so pretty. Water's delicious.
So we opened on the 12th, temporary operations, one pool really right now. So, last Saturday there we had two pools open. It's just we're working through, ramping up the staff and the lifeguards. Lifeguards is an issue for everyone nationwide, so and we're not exempt from that sadly, but we are working on it and we've got a lot of applications, so we'll get there. So right now we're just running lap swim, diving, and the swim team and the dive team. The Hall of Fame inducted their new members just recently in October 14th and 15th, so that was a special day. We had it on the 15th of October, on that Saturday, they had a reunion of the 1980 Olympic swimming team. So that was great, had a lot of people here, and it was a fun day for them to visit the pool. Team training camps are starting up for collegiate teams in December, although we got some requests coming in this fall too. We're looking at a water polo exhibition in December. That would be an international exhibition with Spain. This the national teams from Spain, Italy, and I think it's Serbia. But we got to see if we're going to be ready for them because we're still finishing up stuff. So we're hoping to have the ribbon cutting in January of next year, and which would be we're looking at this January 27th. January 28th would be the 95th anniversary of the city of Fort Lauderdale with swimming history. That's when in 1928, in January 28th of 1928, the city of Fort Lauderdale built the first Olympic-sized swimming pool in the state of Florida across the street in DC Alexander Park. So it'd be kind of nice to have the ribbon cutting if everything goes well around that same time. So I brought some information for you to get some flyers and pool opening time. If you guys want to take a look, pass them around if you like. Some that you may have seen them. If you have any questions, let us know. Come by and see us at the pool. Busy this week. We're open during the boat show. There's a lot of activity around there, but there are people that visit the boat show look forward to coming and swimming every day. Not as many people as normal that are there, but we're there and we're doing a lot of maintenance and some in-service trainings at that time. So it's a good time for us to catch up on something. We're super chlorinated. Maintenance, a little maintenance.
I have a quick question. So you guys fill the pools and the dive well up in around springtime, February, springtime, is that right? And how did the chillers perform over the summer?
Oh, they're great. There's 21 of them,
Yeah.
21 air conditioning units.
So
They're
they
great.
performed up to expectations?
Yes, it's the only way. We're cooling the water more than we heat it. So we like to keep it around 80. Divers like it a little warmer, so 82, 83. The hotter the water temperature is, the more chemicals you need to use. And so 80 is perfect. And so for swimming, 77 to 80. 82.4 is the recommended temperature for competitive sports for swimming. But it's just like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Everybody likes it a little different way.
Sure.
And so when it's hard, you just can't turn that thermostat on that pool. It's like almost 1 million gallons of water. The main competition pool is like 976,000 gallons of water. So if you want to change that a degree or a half a degree, you better start early and check the weather conditions because
Overcast, bright, sunny, whatever.
exactly, right. So you have to factor all that in. And then there's blankets to put on it in the wintertime. When the north wind comes, it'll just suck out the water and the heat right out of your pool. So we'll put the blankets on.
That's
It
cool.
helps.
How was the budget? How did it all turn out?
It's good.
There were change orders, but
Oh, sure.
we fell within those, there were requested change orders and we fell within the.
You're just doing the punch list now.
Yes.
I can only say, you know, I go there
Yeah.
four times, maybe 5 times a week. I just feel lucky every day that I get to go there. So thank you for building that and making it the way it is. I have no idea. I don't care if the water's really cold. I don't really mind. I'm fine. I get in there. I just swim a little faster.
I love it cold. I concur with Mary. Every
So
day
I
I
just-
walk out, well, every time I ride my bike into the facility, I'm like in heaven.
I'm amazed. I'm like, I'm so lucky I get to be here. I really can't believe it, so. It's
Well,
an amazing
people are
place.
they're excited, you know, people are happy, a lot of happy people there, and also very appreciative that even though we're finishing up what we have there, that just to open it up just for the little bit that we had while we're finishing up, it's really been a great thing to do for the community. And everyone's been very understanding and just grateful, so we just thank them for their patience, and they're just excited. that they
Just
have-
happy to be there. We're happy
Yeah,
to
we
be
had a
there.
photo shoot yesterday there. Adidas shot a photo shoot there for an upcoming catalog. And another catalog shoot will be coming up, Swimmer's Outlet. So
When
that's
is
just the
when is
time of
that
year.
one?
November.
Right.
Yes.
They did take up all the parking, but I just was quiet about that.
Well, then there's a boat show too.
Yeah, I was quiet about that.
But this week during the boat show, we have the morning swim practices going on early in the morning, and then we close at 1. Just because it gets a little too scary, or not scary, but it gets a little hairy with how much traffic with the boat show going on. Police are parking there on our property too, which is great. And so, you know, collaborating with everybody. So,
Are we gonna do something about the bike racks moving closer to the facility?
I communicated to Marty about that. I need to talk to you about that. There's just not a lot of opportunities right now to figure out where to put them, because there's gonna be the continuing construction that's projected for the museum. And so I would have put them over there, and then I don't wanna take up a parking space, and so it's like where to put these, because we know that they'll shift, so. And then,
I have my little pole.
You've got light
I
poles,
know.
yeah. it's
Oh,
good.
no,
I
my
know.
little light pole.
It's
in
something
front-
that I've
Yeah.
thought about,
No, I
like,
do.
oh, I
Like,
could
the
put
light
in
pole
here,
in
there's a
front of
lot of thought has gone into it, and then we put them right there by the gift shop, because at least it's by the gift shop and they're there. And, you know, put it at the front gate, but then you have an obstacle now at an egress, emergency access, you don't wanna put the bikes there, and so you're like,
My
okay,
pole is fine.
maybe we can paint it like they do at the schools, right? Thank you so much.
It's beautiful.
Come on down and see us.
I think we may have questions in the crowd. There was a gentleman that actually wanted to know if there was a
Oh, look
policy
who's
or
here.
procedure in place as far as getting up in his canary yellow. I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah. Jump off the top.
Oh, yeah, I do.
How you doing, Carrie?
Asking that question.
It's a feet first entry only. You go about 55 miles an hour and you go off the top.
Wait, but a member of the public is allowed to jump off the top as
Now,
long as we find
you
a waiver?
could if you were safety certified by the diving team, yes.
Sign a bunch of paperwork that says,
Yeah, you need insurance and some training, and they need to make sure that you knew what you're doing. I explain it's just a lot of like, you go to rent a jet ski, they're just not gonna give you the key to the jet ski or a boat. You're gonna have some, either voter certification, safety certification, or you're gonna have some sort of training. They're just not gonna let you go out there with that. So it's same thing with the diving. Higher you go up, we wanna make sure you know what you're doing. So right now, the public can go off the 1 meter and 3 meter. And if you wanna get up to the higher levels, we just need to know that you have the skill to do that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Greg.
guys. Thank you. We love it.
Thanks, Lori.
Help. All
I
right.
apologize, I do need
All
to
right. Thank you.
break from the traditional agenda here. I missed something at the start here. We have a new advisory board member.
Michelle.
And I got stuck in the bloody traffic. Hi, I'm very happy to be
And
here.
Michelle's wearing her shirt.
Yes, I changed in the car.
I've done that.
Yes.
Mary's helped me.
Yes. It's not always what you
And
think's gonna
also,
happen in the parking
Mary Ann
lot.
Seiler is here originally on roll call.
And by the way, congratulations. I saw your dad the other day and he told me.
What are we congratulating her?
She got
married.
You got married?
That's big, that's
Oh my
huge.
God, mazel to you.
Woo-hoo.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you get married in town or out of town?
In town.
Okay,
Yeah, at St. Anthony's and then the Lauderdale Yacht Club
okay.
Nice, no, he said it was very nice.
3 weeks ago.
Woohoo, the newlywed. Remember that, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
God, no.
Okay. That's cool, congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
We'll move on to the department.
Okay, it's my turn.
Oh, your turn again, sir.
It's a pretty tall area.
Oh, thank you. I got my shirt. Everybody's wearing it. I need to step up.
Do you want me to text you a reminder?
No, what I'm gonna do is start keeping it in my car.
Oh.
Yeah, that's easy, because then you can change in the car, just like Rochelle just
Oh,
did.
yeah, I like this,
Exactly.
can we get this thing bigger?
Yeah, so I'll explain that a little bit. So
Yeah, I need a microscope.
good evening again, everyone. My name is Carl Williams. For those who do not know, I am the department's deputy director. Typically, every 2 years or so, when we have new members on the board, I like to come out and give an overview of our department, so you can kind of see exactly what we do and go from there. And so I do apologize that particular slide is a little tight, but it kind of gives you an idea of how large our department is, more so than the bodies of the department. So as I mentioned, I am the department's deputy director. I oversee the recreational programming side of the department. Enrique Sanchez is our other deputy director. He oversees the maintenance side of the department. And then we both report to Phil Thornburg, who is our Parks and Recreation director. I'll get into a little detail about the number of staff and kind of some of the programs as I work through the presentation here, but this is kind of a snapshot of our different divisions that we have within our department. This is the sheet that Mary was referring to that you can't really see, but I'll try to kind of give a brief kind of synopsis of it. So this is my division that I'm responsible for, which is the marketing, the youth programs, senior programs, teen programs, the Fort Lauderdale Aquatic Center, cemetery. We also have special events, administration, and so it's a pretty all-encompassing rec side. I mean, there's certain things that, as a department, that are unique compared to other Parks and Rec departments. Like, for example, other municipalities may have a cemetery, but their cemetery system may have 1 or 2 cemeteries. We have 4. 3 of the 4, we have active burials that we currently conduct. We also have a sanitation division. We are the ones that do the pickup, and that is under Enrique's side. And so one of the things real quick about the bulky division is that the city does a annual survey, and our bulky division is always rated extremely high. The residents in the city really appreciate the work that group does, and I just wanted to make sure I notate that. Now, also in our parks division, those are the individuals that make everything look good. We also have facilities division. They are the ones who fix things, your HVAC. They also put up drywall, and we get requests to redo the floors, paint, pretty much the whole gamut. Matter of fact, we're asking them to build us a float, and so to go on a parade. So we have some pretty talented individuals that work in our department under the facilities division. Of course, we have our group that pick up trash in the parks, mow the lawn, and then we use contractors to help us with some of our medians and some of our areas that doesn't really allow us to be able to provide the best service, so we contract some of those services out. So that kind of gives you a little overview of this particular area. Also under Enrique's purview is our marinas division. As you all know, within I'd probably say the last year or so, we no longer operate the Los Olas Marina, but we do have our other marinas that we provide services for.
That's Suntex, the other one.
Correct.
Where's beaches on here?
So beaches is consisted of it's really a park. We look at it as a park, and we do service. I think it's 7 miles of beach sand. We have to abide by turtle regulations during turtle season. We have a compost area where we take some of the vegetation that brushes up against the sand and clean that area up there as well. So that group actually starts work at 5:30 in the morning.
You're so nice.
Actually, my comment actually, it's more for FDOT than anything else, because when I'm riding my bike to the pool every day, those amber lights, a lot of them are not on, so it's completely black.
I mean, the neon lights?
The what?
No,
The
turtle
lights.
lights.
Oh, the turtle lights.
Turtle
Yeah.
lights.
Oh, turtle lights.
Yeah, the lights that would normally light up the street and the sidewalks, those that have amber light bulbs in them right now, a lot of them are not even on, but that's not really under your purview, that's FDOT. So,
And here's another interesting note here. So anytime there is a hurricane or a natural, somewhat of a disaster, if you will, that impacts the sand that brushes on the street road, that group that handles the beach do an amazing job.
Yeah, they
Those
do.
guys clear out that space, and you wouldn't even really know a hurricane was there if you give them some time. I mean, they really do an
a
exceptional
couple
job.
of days and it's
Yeah, oh
pretty
yeah.
much cleaned
Oh,
up.
yeah. And then and some of y'all may remember this, I wanna say 2 years ago, we had a decision package, which is how we request for things above our normal operations. We requested to have some painters. Those guys paint the seawall from one end to the next and then start back all over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And so, that has worked out really well. And also, that's a part of the sanitation group. We have the clean team. If many of you all remember, our former city manager, Lee Feldman, we created the clean team, which they go around, pick up trash in high-profile areas, Sistrunk, River Rock, Riverfront, some of those high-profile areas, especially the ones downtown, and keep those areas clean. And also our work hand in hand with some of the ambassadors that are down there.
I just have one question
Yes.
about the maintenance on, well, I guess the rec people at like the park. So say like just like the neighborhood parks. I guess they're under Enrique's, right?
It depends. What function are you?
Okay. Because like I usually see there's like the park ranger and then there's like the supervisor, the one in charge, and then there's like 2 or 3 guys, that are helping with the baseball fields or like cleaning up everything. And so, and I know that some of them are like part-time workers, I think.
So-
And then some are like full, like there's one that like the supervisor has been there for like 20, like a long time, like always there. But the other ones, I think they're part-time, and so I guess they're not on here.
So I'll as at towards the end of the slideshow, there's a breakdown of some of our part timers, our
Oh,
full
okay.
timers. But yes, you're right. There is a combination of full and part time,
Okay.
and that's consistent with both divisions
Okay.
that we have.
Okay.
Club 55. We started Club 55. I want to say maybe 4 years ago, and one thing that I'm really proud of is that we have over 500 members. This program is pretty much 7 days a week. Because prior to that, we didn't really have anything dedicated for individuals who were retired or wanted to kind of do something different and be around fitness and fun and talks and instruction and things of that nature. So This is a really good program that we started a few years back, and it also is subsidized as well. So if you fit under a certain fixed income and you're fall under the poverty threshold line, you can join Club 55 for $5.
Say that again?
Yeah, $5.55 if you
For a monthly, or is that a yearly, quarterly, what is that?
correct, that's yearly.
Yearly.
What's the golf part of it?
So at Oswald, we have a golf course, and we have golf instruction. Sometimes we have mini golf events. Most people use the long range that we have there. Well, there's I believe it's 8 holes of golf.
Oh, it's on a full golf
No.
course?
Carl, what was the phrase we used to use when we put this program in place? Remember we used to say from, like, our parks serve from something to something, like.
Is it the womb to the tomb?
Well, great.
But I remember when we put this in place, it was like we were trying to implement that. Like, everybody should be at the parks, no
Yeah.
matter their age.
Move to the tomb, I like that.
Something
Well,
like
it's true, cemeteries and everything.
Even the
we
tomb.
provide pretty much every service. Now with our youth programming, we pretty much start at the age of 5, your first graders on up, but essentially we provide everything from the womb to the tomb. Another relatively new program we started was Fit for Lauderdale. We started this one right before the pandemic. So that kind of slowed some of the progress. But for those of you who've been on this board for a while, we've had several like 5K runs. We've had a few events on the beach, which is really nice, where we have several instructors come out and give clinics and classes for fitness. Now, as part of our offerings, we allow fit permits, where we allow individuals who have their own business to provide fitness instruction at select locations throughout our park system to provide fitness classes.
Is that what outfits qualified under? Like the trucks?
Yes.
Like George English, or is that the?
Yeah. I work out with them, they're awesome.
Oh,
When
really?
you do the truck workout? Oh, okay. It's pretty intense if you.
I've seen that, yeah.
I've seen it.
I do it at Holiday, but they go.
They're George
They
English.
travel, yeah.
And Laura and Henselfeld kind of touched on this. And speaking of that, just an FYI, this next commission meeting, myself, Laura, and a member from Henselfeld will be giving an update for our commission. And it'll basically be very similar to what you heard today, but it's just an FYI. Now, of course, I can't have a presentation without talking about it. So, we have provided a few new courts in our park system, because it originally started at Holiday Park, which is your 6 courts, which is more than enough proof of concept at that point, because those courts are pretty much all day long with pickleball use. Venison Park is now up and running. That's off of Davie, if you all are familiar with Venison, but we have 6 courts there. And then we should have started Oswald Park, the 4 courts that we have installed there. However, there's been some delays with materials and things of that nature, but that's coming soon. And we're actually going to start on George English Tennis Court, and we hope to have it started and completed in November. So
Are they removing the tennis courts or just adding 6
So
pickleball
the
courts?
for George English,
Yeah.
those courts are going to be on the ski pad.
Skate
Skate
rink,
pad.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Roller hockey.
Yeah.
When you
Good.
said tennis courts, I panicked. I was like, wait, I thought
Yeah,
we
no,
were supposed to
we're not touching the tennis courts. No.
Whatever happened with that proposal that, we had a presentation on a few
Oh,
months
the
ago?
Snyder Park?
Schneider.
Private
The partnership, what is it, My Park Initiative, I believe it's called. So that's still in conversation. I can't really speak too much to that because I don't want to speak out of turn, but our commission is having ongoing conversations and we're working on seeing where that progresses from here on out.
Is there any backlash from?
Yes. Lots. I heard lots. I didn't even ask people. They just think I know something about it, and the rumor out there is it's 60 courts, and I go, no, it's 41, but what I really would like to know is, I've heard this a couple times, and what you hear, I don't know what's real, that Snyder Park was donated by somebody that insisted it be a non-activity park. I'd say they called it non-activity. So I don't know what that all means for 41 pickleball courts and a theater and a restaurant and I was at other meetings where people that live around that area, I do not live around that area, so I was kind of surprised that they approached me, are just like adamant, they don't want that there, so I'm just saying that.
Yeah, it is
Were you wearing your
proposed, it's a substantial
It's like, look at my
investment
name.
if, you know, it
Walking
does
up.
go through. I have heard, some feedback from it, and
A lot of feedback.
Well, it came up at candidate forums, and I think that's what it was, that people were asked, candidates were asked.
Well, if it was donated for that purpose, isn't there a covenant? So they wouldn't be able to
So-
go forward anyway?
I'm not aware of that particular
really- yes, I don't
portion,
know.
so that's something that we'll have to look into, but as far as I know, it appears that there hasn't been any snags in the plan yet.
Okay.
I mean, that whole area is just a dead zone. If it was like forested like some of the rest
It
of the
is
park.
pretty forested though, isn't it?
No, it's not.
No?
It's
Well,
way south.
It is more than, I know where it is,
There's a
but
little lake over there, and then the
It's
rest.
the southwest corner of
It's,
the park.
it's
Yeah.
where the original school used to
I
be.
know
right
where it
across
is.
the road.
Oh, I'm very,
So,
I
let me give you a layout
volunteer there, so-
of
Yeah,
Snyder
remember
Park.
the
So
concerts?
Snyder Park is our largest per square foot park. And over the years, we've added frisbee golf. We have a bike trail.
There's a bike trail there?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there you wouldn't
How
even
long
know
is it?
exists.
It's not long.
I volunteer
It's
there,
a,
that's
it's
why I
a
know it's
very
there.
novice course. It's not,
Oh,
I drove
okay.
to it
it's
the
not
other day to
like
double check.
Markham or anything like that. It's
Maybe that
very novice.
forest thing and the butterfly.
But we also have a butterfly garden there. And of course, we have the dog park and the dog lake.
Yeah.
And then we host events there. There's playgrounds there. We have a few events that actually take place in the back there. Our compound is back there where we do our compost. And so,
But the area now that they're talking about is closed off to the public.
it is. So in that area over there where the location is proposed, that body of water, we don't use it because we couldn't really maintain it the way we want to, and we do have it serviced, I believe, every month for algae. But in years past, we had lifeguards there that would be out there, but we kind of pretty much stopped that out. So if this particular proposal goes through, I believe some of their plan is to activate that.
Yeah,
So
and
they're
make
gonna
it
invest
a
in it.
usable water.
But that neighborhood wasn't happy when we had events back there.
That's correct.
No, they didn't like it, because they're in a
They
quiet
like it.
neighborhood, and
Oh, yeah,
suddenly,
right underneath the airport.
Suddenly they're-
The airplanes are fine, but you.
I
A
don't
little
think
live
that,
music?
I don't
Like
think
it
the
at all.
airport
Everybody gets-
even bothers them, it's the people on the south side of the airport that really hear because that's where the new runway is.
Yeah.
Married to a pilot, that's why I know these things.
So
Not that I'm not up on it.
as I mentioned earlier, we also operate a cemetery division. And Woodlawn is the only cemetery which is located right near Carter Park, is the only cemetery that we have in our system that we aren't actively doing burials. There's some preservation concerns with that as it pertains to knowing where bodies are laid, so we don't do any new burials in that location. Sunset Memorial is very busy. We typically have in excess of 9 burials every Saturday.
Wow.
It's likely that Sunset Memorial has a lifespan of less than 2.5 years before it's fully buried out.
Do you only do burials on Saturday, or you're just saying that's the most
No,
popular
that just
day?
because Saturday's the busier day,
Right.
and so but we have burials throughout the week.
So
but
if there's
just-
9 on a Saturday, there's probably 15 a week.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah.
Well,
Easy.
it's a big city, some are born and some are.
Everybody going more than once.
Back to Wilton too.
Do you have the,
Go vertical.
I guess, pre-purchase packages? Do people do that?
So under state law for municipal ran cemeteries, we are not permitted to do pre-need sale. We can do prearranged sales, like there's little intricacies with that. But like we can't sell you like a headstone when you don't have a need now. We can sell you a burial spot.
You can't or you can?
We can. We can sell you a burial spot that you can
Not
pay on
headstone.
over time. We just can't sell you the merchandise.
What is a burial spot cost these days?
I'd have to check. I don't know the price.
I know what rents are, just think of that.
Well,
I'm
Probably
permanent.
cheaper than
Don't quote me on this, but I believe depending on which garden you are in, somewhere around 12 to 1500.
That's not bad.
But yes, someone did make
Cheaper
a
than
comment. We
rent.
do have mausoleums as part of our cemetery master plan. We're actually in the process to solicit a company to build some new mausoleums for Sunset, which will, in truth be told, once we kind of get that part through, those will all be sold before,
We have to go vertical once you run out of
Oh, yeah.
space.
And truthfully, there's not a whole lot of space in Sunset where we can build a whole lot of mausoleums. So I think the plan is now is to add one mausoleum building, but like I said, those places will be sold out relatively quickly. Lauderdale Memorial is right off of 4 and 4th Avenue. That is a large, I believe it's our largest cemetery, and it has the most space available.
Save me a spot.
People treat it like a park.
Yes,
They do.
people run,
They do.
exercise.
I live in that neighborhood and
there and it's open 24 hours.
Yeah,
That's
they
why I
walk
say
their
save me a
dog.
spot.
Oh, absolutely.
You should just go put your stick down now.
I know, I need to.
there you go.
I hope they pick up after their dogs.
Well, there's somebody that walks around telling them like your dog has to be on a leash and not on the grass in there.
So, now, special events, which has been a topic for our department here for a little bit over a month or so. But we produce several events throughout the year, and has always been one of our banners of success as far as like being able to recreate, get people out, come to the beach, come to our big events on the beach, and then we have several other events that we're gonna actually come up soon, which are light up events.
What's Sips and Sounds?
Oh, that's good.
Sips and Sounds is located at Southside Cultural Arts Center,
Oh.
and it's basically you can,
Was that
depending on
the art base?
the agenda for that day, you can basically come, do some art, and have a drink.
And there's a cooking thing that
There's
happens.
demonstrations
Oh, I like
that take
It's very
place.
laid back and,
$10, right?
yeah, it's nice.
I like that.
I love
We have to do that.
Is it only on Sundays?
So far, yes. Depending on some feedback, we may add another day, but it's actually become pretty popular.
What's the plan for New Year's Eve?
We still plan to
Downtown.
move forward with our downtown countdown.
Drop the anchor.
That's right. As I mentioned earlier, our facilities group, they a very busy group. We have over 130 city buildings that we are responsible for, and they fix everything from, like I said, floors, putting up drywall, HVACs, fixtures, that type of thing. I mentioned sanitation earlier as well. These are the individuals that pick up the bulky trash. And our clean team basically keeps our bus stops clean, sidewalks clean, pressure wash. And I also assist with keeping our restrooms clean.
You know, they do a great job. I see them out there when I swim, I'm walking or something like that on the beach and George English and Holiday Park. I mean, they really do. They're
They
out
do.
there early. They're out.
They're there bright and early.
Yeah,
I mean, they're out there
really do
when I'm out
appreciate
there
them.
and that's.
And the
early.
bus stops.
Before the sun rises.
Yeah, and the bus stops too. I mean, oh Lord, the bus stops.
Oh yeah.
Pressure clean those things and
Yeah, they're really a really good bonus to have in our department because, you know, if I have some sites when I go and do some of my facility tours and if I see some of the areas need some pressure washing, I can just pull them and they'll come and take care of it in half of a day. I mean, it's really a really good resource to have. And in most parks and recreation departments, you have your park maintenance division, and these individuals really keep our parks and our open spaces clean. Now, as promised, here's sort of a matrix of how our department stacks up as far as the intricacies and numbers of staff that we have, different amenities that we have throughout our park system.
Yeah, this is good to have, you know, somebody asks. Really is, it's a lot.
It does. It keeps us really busy. It really does.
Where's the other splash pad besides Quotient?
We have one at Oswald. We have a splash pad at Big and
Don't you have one at River?
There wasn't the loop.
we have one at Riverland.
There's more than two.
I thought,
Not one at
Lauderdale Manor?
But you're gonna have
Yes,
one
we
in-
do have one at Lauderdale Manor as well.
And you're gonna have one in Sailboat Bend,
But
right?
so splash pads and water spray pads, there's different definitions. And so, actually, as part of the bond, we're trying to go to, I believe, what is called is it spray pad? Because it deals with the level of water that settles on the area. So in other words, we don't need to have a lifeguard. So,
They call it a spray ground.
yes, yeah.
I thought that was the most clever thing.
So, that concludes my presentation. If anybody has any questions? Yes, sir?
Is public comment and questions allowed on this agenda item? Or if I wanted to say something, would I have to wait for a different agenda item?
I'll let the board speak first. Speak to the public.
As long as
As a
it's
courtesy, we.
I have some department questions, but I can save those for later.
Go ahead, Carrie.
Carrie Villeneuve. Don't worry, Caleb, I will tie this into department presentation. So my last meeting would have been September, but it got canceled because of Hurricane Ian. So I just wanted to come in and thank you guys for those of you that I served with for a while, those who are brand new. I really just love serving on this board. It's the third board I've served on. My kids are getting an age where they're doing more extracurricular stuff, so I couldn't sign up for another year, but I really just loved serving on this board. I think we did a lot of great stuff together, and I know you guys will keep doing a great job. And so just thank you to all of you for the time that I got to serve with you, and thank you to Stephanie. You were absolutely wonderful. And tying it into department update, I will leave with my two biggest themes, I think. And that is, the department does a great job.
I was gonna say, you beat me to it.
But let's really focus on activating those rooftops and aggressive maintenance and control and eradication of iguanas.
all right. Thanks, Carrie.
Such a wonderful time serving with you.
Oh, bye. We're gonna miss you.
See you at the park.
Hi, Carrie.
Bye, guys.
See you soon.
We'll see you at the Panther Arena.
Rooftopping.
Any questions for Carl from the board?
2 years.
Kind of kidding me, Carrie.
This is good.
This is my last.
Nice to have.
Yes.
It's good, yeah.
Thank you.
7, right?
Oh, I just have one question. It's curiosity.
Sat down already.
No, it's fine. I'll stand up.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say, like, and so I know that a lot of them are like 20+ year employees, or it seems to be like a very old bunch that have been there a while. And like I know that there's hiring challenges and all, but like, what are you doing to make sure that you have like I guess future your job
That is a
retention
really good question. So,
Employee
you want the
retention,
Cliff Notes version, or do you want the long version?
and like I guess,
Recruitment.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, yes, there are hiring challenges that we're experiencing across the board. At one point, we thought it was just lifeguards, and then it kind of just took a turn for the worst over the last couple of years. And so, we've adjusted some of our pay rates to attract more talent. We've, in incentivized employees for retention. And, you know, at this point, we've even used like flyers, like some of our hard to fill positions like plumbers, electricians, and lifeguards, we're promoting on different sites now. In my cemetery division, we've got at least a half dozen vacancies, and it's been a really, really challenging couple of years in filling key roles. And our staff is really taking a toll, so I'm always pushing for people to try to go just take some time off because it can become very monotonous.
You guys have openings published on the website?
Okay, that's something next, are the jobs posted on the website, and are there closing dates, cause are
They
there,
are.
so you still have closing dates, so if you don't fill these positions, you open back up and.
Right, for some of the harder to fill ones, like for example, like our plumber, electrician, I think those are open-ended, like those will just stay. The problem though with those is that when you add new positions, they falls down on the city website, and so sometimes we have to refresh it so it pops.
Nobody looks down at the bottom.
And also on a quick note, I wanna give some kudos to Stephanie because she really put this together.
Beautiful. Very nice, very nice, thank you, Stephanie. I really like it, it's very helpful.
I did the easy part, the talking.
I may have missed it because I was late. But what's up with the Panthers?
The Panthers,
Or War Memorial, I should say.
from my last conversation, there should be some, maybe a ribbon cutting. Don't quote me on this, but I think at the top of the year at some point. I don't know how many of you have driven by there, but it's a huge.
Yeah.
It's really big,
It's.
They're moving along.
I didn't realize how big it was until you actually
They're moving along.
yeah, I walked over
stand there. So yes, it's moving along now. The lease and the agreement is handled with another department, so I don't know the intricacies of that dynamic there, but we're working on an agreement with them to have some access to the marquee that we have there on Federal. And yeah, like I said, the last conversation I had is that it should be mostly completed at the start of the new year, first quarter of the new year.
So are we gonna start looking into programming for that?
So, based on the agreement, if I remember correctly, the city has the right for, I believe, 8 events that we can host there. We're working on trying to have some indoor space for pickleball. And
Well, isn't the One Ring the public
Mhm.
access one? So are we programming that or are they programming?
they'll be programming it, but it's basically gonna be like an ongoing communication, because we may wanna have some clinics there, have kids come out and have the Panthers come and do like a showing and that type of thing.
Awesome. I know we talked about them coming and giving us like an update at some point. Do you think we can get that on
Yes.
the calendar?
Mhm.
There's no hang-ups.
Yeah, you can't hear.
Oh.
You can't hear.
We had asked if they could come
Not
give an
that I'm
update
aware.
at some point, and so they're gonna see if they can get it on the calendar.
Maybe I'll try to get them on in January, because that way
That'd be
they
great.
could probably be able to provide when they'll be done.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And have some really nice pictures too. So we'll work on that.
Yeah, maybe that we can, they can give us a tour too.
Maybe we can have our meeting there.
There we go.
We can't do
Your heads
that
up.
anymore.
We
No
can't.
field trips.
Yeah, no.
Field trip is different from having a meeting.
But we used to get to
Well, you
have
can
our
do a tour.
meeting.
Yeah.
Field trip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember having one meeting at the.
We just can't conduct business.
We
We
just
just have a meeting, somebody said have a meeting there.
All
When did
that's
that
been cut
rule
out.
come into
Can't do
place?
it anymore.
Recently, we used to
Question,
do
you have a
it.
question?
Yes, sir.
So, it's exciting, the Panthers hockey rink opening up, that's gonna be super cool. So I volunteer coach with a soccer, which is happening kind of same time, November, December, tons of teams and parents and kids at that same spot. And as what sounds like maybe the new opening, is there gonna be parking accommodations? Is it gonna be crazy crowded?
So parking is going to be, parking already is an issue. So if you go there on a Saturday where we have, for example, this past weekend we had some home football games, we had some activity on the baseball field, we had tennis going on, and just imagine if we had Parker Playhouse had an event. And I mean, it becomes a logjam. And so that is definitely going to be a challenge, because mind you too, I know I've mentioned this a couple times, but our pickleball rinks are pretty busy nonstop, and it's a large population of people that drive to come. So it's a real concern. I know there was some conversations about doing a parking garage, so that may help mitigate some of that, but we'll see how
I
that.
thought that was part of the contract.
It's part of the
And
discussion. I'm
they
pretty
did
sure.
take that lot next to Parker and build a building.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just
the
a matter
problem
of
is
figuring
that
out where to.
the police don't want it because the horses.
The horses, right.
Yeah. Don't bother the
And half
horses.
the people at soccer say that's too far to have to walk if they were to park there.
Yeah, they're far away.
They're athletes.
It is really at
And
the
same
other
thing
end of
for
the park.
tennis. Like I was there playing tennis on Saturday and I parked in the lots that the construction people park in for War Memorial because it's, but you have to walk around. Like there's no back entrance to Jimmy Everett.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm remiss in mentioning this. So, you mentioned tennis. So, this fiscal year, which we just transitioned over October 1, we're gonna have some tennis socials, and so you'll see some information come out. I don't think anyone in here came to Akasha's event, but we're gonna have a social that's gonna be very similar. Maybe have some wine spritzers and maybe some tennis clinics and a social kind of atmosphere, which I think will be really nice
Would that be a holiday?
at the tennis center. Yes.
Is the Holiday Park ball machine up and running?
It should be. The last update I have is that it was.
Did I see something on Nextdoor about issues with the tennis folks not getting paid or something like that?
Yes. So,
Oh, jeez, I forgot about that.
so we have a new, the city has a new system, ERP process, and the system that we use is Info. And with the transition of that from our old system, the instructors are contracted instructors, and so their pay didn't follow over, and then we were asked to get updated insurance, would cause a further delay. So long story short, all of them have been paid except for, I believe, 4. And that includes our dive and swim team instructors too.
When will those be paid?
We're waiting on signatures from a couple of the instructors to sign. And then once they sign, the other 2 are with the attorney's office, so, because I know a couple of them were out of town. So,
I've heard from a few of them.
yeah,
The story's a little different from what you
from what they told you to what I'm telling you, right?
But either way, that's not a
The
good
coaches
thing.
are gonna get paid one way or the other.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But I view them, I know they're contracted instructors, but I view them as a part of our team, and it's like, you know, you do a service, you want to get paid.
Yeah, no, that's why people work.
Well, they created a lag, right? Like some were saying they weren't paid for,
Oh, it's been like 5 weeks.
yeah.
Yes,
That's a long time to not be paid.
So they're coaching and they're not getting paid.
correct. But like I said, all of them except a handful have been paid. So we've squared that out. But a whole month and a half is hard to do without getting paid.
City needs to get
If
it
that's
done.
all you're, if that's all you're relying on, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, they were, even Saturday, they were pretty upset.
Yeah, I'll get to next one.
Any more questions for Carl?
I have one last one. If you don't- This hasn't come up in a really long time. The indoor basketball. Is it still kids only?
Indoor basketball.
The indoor basketball at Holiday?
Oh, so you're talking about open gym at the gymnasium?
I remember they used to ask us this like years ago, and then I hadn't heard it in years, and somebody asked me today.
So right now, you probably don't even want to have open gym because we have some AC issues. That's been a real issue because we have the supply chain issues, so we can't repair the unit, and it's been over a year. But yes, when that gets back up and running, we're gonna have some open gym hours, and adults will be able to come in as well as our youth programs for basketball.
We have a nice court at the new YMCA over off Sistrunk.
That's right, and it's the most beautiful gym in the world, they tell me, and I saw it, it is.
JCC has a beautiful one too. They've got gorgeous courts there.
Right. That's still the plan for that. The latest I heard is that's still happening. I believe they're finishing up some of their fundraising. and once they reach their allotment, they'll start moving forward with plans and.
I missed that. What was your question?
About the YMCA, there's gonna be a YMCA.
The other
that's
one?
federal.
Yeah,
Is that gonna involve some of the bond money?
No.
that's so wise.
If you haven't been to Parker, it's beautiful.
It is
Oh my
beautiful.
God,
I've
it's
been there.
I went
gorgeous.
to a concert there on Saturday. It was
Very
awesome.
I
nice.
saw Chris Bodie there
Yes.
earlier this night. He was amazing.
Yes, he was.
He was
I already
amazing.
got my tickets for
I
next year.
can't, oh, you got tickets for, I have to get my tickets. And plus his guests were
I don't even know what
fantastic.
that is. Is that a country singer?
No,
No,
jazz,
he's
jazz
a-
trumpet.
He's a
Oh,
jazz
my
trumpeter,
gosh.
and he brought in Lucia Micadelli, which is a concert violinist. She's
Sorry, we got him.
I don't know what he's talking about.
amazing.
Just to finish out, last thing, next meeting is gonna be December 7th, due to the holiday season coming up. It'll be one meeting in the next 2 months. Aside from that, we have conversations hopefully off the record. I'm, any,
I'll move to adjourn.
there we go.
I second it.
So,
All right.
adjourned.
Thank you.
We don't need parking passes.
Excellent. Yeah, they're
Excellent.
How are you?